2, 1, recording.
What is up, people? Steve Craven with Applying Pressure Podcast. I got to stumble across somebody that's doing something just a little bit different.
A little bit.
He told me that when he went to prison, he developed a program that got to put a little something together that maybe on the psychological side, put some questionnaires together.
If you mean by prison university, fine.
Oh, okay,
Right, so
university. Sorry about that.
The story's a little bit different.
Sorry.
Just a little bit different.
I heard what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Tell me who you are and why people
Yeah.
should know who you are.
My name is Tariq Shaban. I studied aerospace engineering in Saudi Arabia. Why did I study aerospace engineering? Because all my uncles were engineers, and that's all I knew.
That's
and
fair.
they were chemical engineers or mechanical engineers or electrical engineers, and those were my options. So I thought I'd take something a little bit more creative. So I did aerospace engineering.
Okay.
When I did aerospace engineering, this was in the 90s, so way back when. And in the 90s, something changed in engineering. We started doing computer simulation.
Okay.
We never had to do like wind tunnel simulations for aircraft anymore. We could simulate that in the computer.
Sure.
For engines, we didn't have to simulate how the engines would stress or fail under heat or pressure. We would simulate that.
Sure.
That's it. So I later studied psychology because my heart was never into aerospace engineering. I was just good with numbers and figures, but I was a little bit more creative. So now I studied psychology, and with AI, we can model and simulate human behavior in different kinds of ways.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that we're doing. When we're developing assessments that can measure human behavior in different kinds of situations, whether that's for workplace or for career guidance for
Sure.
young people, instead of testing thousands and thousands, when I say thousands,
models.
tens of thousands of people to see how it works in the real world, we can simulate that. So it used to take a year to develop a personality test,
Sure.
a questionnaire, a test of any kind, a psychological
Probably
measure.
thousands of people taking this test.
Tens of thousands of people
Sure.
taking the test because you want to make sure that it's fair for everybody,
Sure.
for people with disability, for men and women, for people of different backgrounds and ethnicities, different ages. So you have to have a sample population.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And that was the game.
So
You still have to do it.
Yes,
but-
yes.
We can predict how they'll perform now in those situations using AI.
So the other side of this thing is the assessments that you're putting on. You can build custom assessments for universities, for businesses that
For
are looking
businesses.
to hire.
Yeah.
I mean, like the list kind of goes on here,
The
right?
list goes on.
And-
That's exactly how it started. We thought we'd start with career guidance for students. But then developing the pipeline itself that would develop these assessments was a small part of the project. And then that turned into something bigger and bigger because then clients said, well, that means you can develop custom assessments, exactly
Sure.
the point that you came to. And that's what we did. Well, we said, yeah, we can do that. Well, how, let's say, immersive can this be at this stage? And we got it to a point where now we have a whole agentic pipeline that can develop these kinds of assessments. And all I have to feed into it is a job description and then interviews that I, as a psychologist,
Sure.
will do with people on the job to find out what your work is about. So tell me a situation when shit hit the fan.
Absolutely.
What's a good example of how a person would respond to that in your environment,
Yep.
for your company? So now we can make assessments that act as realistic job previews.
Sure.
So applicants, instead of reading job descriptions, yeah, I'll apply to that. Now they'll see the job because we can produce the videos that will mimic the jobs and the situations
Yep.
from the client's environment. They'll respond to those, and
So
any aspect, little detail of that job can be recreated
you're
in one
actually
pipeline.
pre-setting up the perfect human for the perfect situation, theoretically, right?
Yeah. In a way, they can also opt out. They can see, you know what, this job isn't for me. You have too much of a hustle culture
Sure.
in your environment.
Yes.
That it doesn't fit me.
Yeah.
Something that's not really tangible, you can't read in a job description, but now you can see it.
Right.
So you get a better feel. Isn't that going to help you succeed in the job later on? Because now you get a feel of the environment.
You know, it's helping both sides here. But on the other side of this, what we need to be looking at too is not only is it helping the person that's looking for the job, it's helping the company that's looking to hire somebody, but it's also mating the two to understand that, you know what, I thought this was the ideal job for me. After taking this assessment, this showed me that maybe this isn't the correction or the career choice that I'm choosing, And it may open the eyes for the other people as well. There's a double side to this.
There's a lot to that now. And when I talk about AI and simulation, the assessment and the measurement and understanding yourself is one aspect of it.
Yep.
But how do you marry that to the career market? So it's understanding the job market as well. So having agents out there understanding what are the new jobs coming up,
Sure.
how they're trending. Now, we have Indeed and LinkedIn and others who do a really, really good job of
Sure.
that. But do they do a really good job of understanding individuals and what their likes and dislikes are? That's a missing piece right now.
Right.
So if we can bring both of those together with the chatbot, and that's the next phase of what we're building, is that career guidance bot that can help guide people into the jobs and the careers. One of the things, and this is just the concept that we put out there, is it understands the job market,
Right.
and it's constantly putting its feelers out there. It sees a job that could be right for you because it knows what your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations are,
Sure.
but you don't have the full skill set for.
Sure.
So it'll nudge you and say, hey, there's a job out there that could be right for you, but you're missing out on XYZ. Here's a course, here's a job description, see if you like it.
Absolutely.
You never know. And it
Well, you know-
opens your eyes to new opportunities.
This is a whole new avenue, and this is something different for a lot of these companies that are looking for the strategic advantage on hiring, firing, picking the right person. Because what also happens in this situation, I do business development. What I run into more times than not is they have the right people, they just have them in the wrong places. So instead of firing somebody, you give them this assessment, you put them in the right position, which in turn, moving them to the right position would make that company scale go to the
There are
next
so
level.
many adjacent skills in the world. Like I did aerospace engineering, but I was good with numbers and I was good with CAD. So I went into animation.
Sure.
So I worked in 3D animation, character rigging and rendering and
Yep.
lighting and all of that. And then from there I got into management. And from management I got into consulting. And from consulting I got into psychology. So I studied psychology. And everyone built on something that was adjacent to something like it's all close and it's all related.
Sure.
And now sitting back and thinking about it, I'm like, huh, yeah, that's how it all happened.
Well,
Doors closed, doors
Doors
open,
open,
and
and
that's how
the
life
one door
works.
looked a little better than the other one.
Yeah.
Well, listen, tell us where they can find you to get a little more information on your company and exactly what you're doing
Yeah.
for the businesses out there.
My name is Tariq Shaban. I work for a company called Mirai. So Mirai stands for future in Japanese, but also my mirror in Arabic.
Okay,
So it's my future mirror.
nice. I love that.
That's the direction that we're headed in. The company is Mirai.me, so that's with 2 A's. It's Mira.ai. The chatbot name is Mira, and she's AI, so it's Mira AI.
Perfect. Make sure you look her up, look him up. He would be more than happy to answer any questions for you. If you're at the AI4 conference, stop by, say hi. He'd love to get in a little information on exactly what he's doing and how it ties to you. I'm Steve with Applying Pressure. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Take care.